If you're over 40 and you're struggling to recover or feel refreshed after a business trip, or you're getting enough sleep yet you're still dragging yourself through workouts, this video is for you. I'm going to show you the real science behind why sleeping after 40 becomes more challenging and the real protocols you can start to implement to get better quality sleep both at home and while you're traveling for business. Welcome to Peak City Gym, the premier fitness over 40 facility here in Apex, North Carolina. We have over 30 years of experience helping people just like you build muscle, lose weight, and take back control over their health. My name is Keegan and I'm going to be your host. Today we're diving deep into something that affects every single person watching this video, and that's going to be your sleep. This is especially important if you're hitting the gym regularly or you're traveling and trying to get the most out of your time in the gym. Before you think this is another get 8 hours of sleep video, we're gonna go deeper into the physiology of what's happening with your body and real strategies to help you maximize your time in bed. First, let's briefly talk about what's actually happening in your body after the age of about 40. Sleep does become a lot harder as we age, and it's not just because of your age. There are real physiological differences that are starting to occur. First up, we're going to talk about your melatonin production. We see a significant decline in the production of melatonin as we age. By about the age of 40, we're seeing a 40% reduction in the amount of melatonin we naturally produce. That's typically why the sleep advice that worked in our 20s and 30s no longer starts to be effective for us. Your body's natural sleep-wake cycling system becomes weaker, and we need to counteract that. That doesn't mean we need to consume more melatonin. There's just better strategies that we can start to implement, and we'll get into those later in the video. For the women watching this, if you're in perimenopause or menopause, you're dealing with estradiol decline, which directly impacts your brain sleep cycle systems, plus progesterone deficiency that's affecting your GABA systems. That's generally why you're going to be waking up multiple times throughout the night. For men, testosterone decline starts about the age of 30, and we see a compounding effect of testosterone decrease and sleep apnea. How testosterone and sleep apnea correlate is with age. With lower testosterone levels, we see less muscle tone and higher fat content within our neck muscles, causing a difficulty of breathing while sleeping. And with sleep apnea, our testosterone levels start to decline as well due to a lack of sleep. So it's a compounding thing that's going to build up over time, so we need to get ahead of it and discover other ways of managing our sleep. This is why addressing both sleep quality and overall health after the age of 40 becomes so crucial. The key thing here is the quality of sleep. A lot of people can get 8 hours, but it's not always going to be the same 8 hours. If you're drinking the night before, you're gonna have lower quality sleep. And here's the kicker for both men and women. The slow wave sleep, or our deep sleep, is going to be what's impacted most. We're going to get less of this deep restorative sleep as we age. This type of sleep is crucial for muscle recovery and muscle growth. So if we're getting less of it, again, that's just the compounding effects of poor sleep. So even if you're getting the 7 to 8 hours, it's probably not going to be the quality that you need to be rested and restored. Now we add travel for work or for pleasure on top of that, and you start to have more issues. The exercise-sleep connection. Here's what most people don't realize about sleep. When we exercise, we are generally going to have better quality sleep. But that comes with a caveat. Timing is everything here. If we're working out too closely to bedtime, we can run into the issue of our body temperature being too high and our body just not being ready to go into that restorative state. Research shows that high intensity training or resistance training can have a significant increase in the quality of sleep we have. But the key is somewhere around 6 to 10 a.m. generally is that sweet spot. You're essentially working along with your body's circadian rhythm, or the body's natural cycle of sleep and awake. But don't feel too bad if you're only able to do evening or afternoon workouts. That's not the biggest deal. We just want to be more cognizant of the level of intensity we're doing and if we're taking any stimulants around our workout. I know some people like to drink a coffee or have an energy drink before they work out, but if you have that too close to bedtime, you can run into issues of disrupting that sleep cycle. But if you are going to work out later on in the evening, make sure you allot for at least 4 hours before your bedtime. That allows your body temperature to come back to neutral and any cortisol level and your cortisol levels that are going to spike from the workout to again depress back to natural. And why resistance training is so awesome is studies have shown that just 30 minutes of resistance training consistently improves our sleep by 17 minutes and improves the overall quality of that sleep. So that may not seem like the most, but over time, over months, over days, over years, that adds up significantly. But let's not forget mind and body exercise like yoga or meditation. These work extremely well close to that bedtime because it's already putting you in that parasympathetic, that restorative state that our body's craving. Studies have shown an 8 to 9% improvement in the overall sleep quality when yoga or mindfulness is performed close to bedtime. So not only is it improving your sleep quality, but it's also helping your parasympathetic system become active and start to recover our muscles more efficiently. And it teaches us to control the thoughts that may be running in our mind when we're laying down trying to go to sleep. The optimal approach with yoga and mindfulness tends to be around 2 to 3 times per week for at least 8 to 12 weeks. This gives our body time to adjust and to develop the skills of being mindful and go through the poses. This is important when you're doing yoga to not think of it like hot yoga or as a workout. We're trying to embrace the recovery of yoga as a whole. Now let's get into travel strategies. These are really important because we want to ideally keep our consistency of sleep schedule and also sleep environment. So sleep schedule is going to be really dependent upon why you're traveling and where you're going. So that's going to be kind of put to the side, but we can control our environment as best as possible. I like to have a sleep kit to travel with that enables me to have as consistent of a sleep as I can. What that includes is a sleep mask that just makes sure that I can get as dark of a room as possible, covers my eyes. It's always going to be the same no matter where I am. The second thing is a white noise machine. Personally, I just use my phone and I put on a Spotify playlist. That's going to be like a sleep playlist that'll have nice even tones throughout the course of the night. I also use that at home, so it is consistent, it's familiar, I know exactly what to expect. The other thing is trying to moderate as much brightness as you can. So early on in the day when you're traveling, get some bright lights, be outside, go for a nice walk. That's gonna help regulate your circadian rhythm. Then later on in the night, if you're about to go to bed, try and have like an hour and a half of just a dark environment. Maybe reading a book, not looking at a screen. Being in a dark space or reading a book is going to, one, help your body just relax and come down from the day of travel or from activities or work or whatever it may be, but it's also going to help your body start to produce melatonin. So when you do start to go down, you're ready with that melatonin stores and you're not just tossing and turning. If you are going to nap or if you need to nap, limit your nap to about 20 to 30 minutes, especially if you're changing time zones. Anything more than that can really disrupt your evening sleep and cause you to really be off on your circadian rhythm going forward. Let's talk about the nutrition piece because that plays a really big role in sleep that we may not really acknowledge. After 40, our caffeine elimination really starts to decline, and you may no longer be able to drink your multiple cups of coffee throughout the day and still be able to sleep well at night. Even if you can have a cup of coffee right before you go to bed, that's still not going to be the most restorative sleep you can get. And that's mainly from your body not being able to get into the same sleep cycles that you would naturally if you didn't have caffeine in your body. You may not be able to see or feel this unless you have a sleep tracker to help give you an idea of where your sleep is throughout the course of the night. That afternoon coffee at 2 p.m. could still be affecting your bedtime at 10 p.m. So try to allow for 8 to 12 hours between your coffee and when you are going to sleep. Eating before bed is ultimately something that I go back and forth on. You're not going to be gaining any more weight if you eat closer to bed. Your body still digests the calories exactly the same, but it can disrupt your quality of sleep. So when we're trying to optimize our sleep, allow for a decent amount of time, probably around 4 to 6 hours before you go to bed, that helps allow your body to digest and process all that food before you go to lay down. If you are going to have a late night snack or a pre-bed snack, limit it to about 100 to 200 calories so your body doesn't have to work that hard to digest it. Supplements are something that are additive and not necessary to get good quality sleep. But if you are struggling with sleep, it's magnesium about 350 milligrams, 30 to 60 minutes before your bedtime, boosts your GABA production and can help reduce the cortisol, just giving you better quality sleep ahead of time. Remember, supplements are not a replacement for good habits. They can help add and provide value for you to everything else that you're doing. What type of magnesium should you take? That's going to depend on you and what you're looking for. Magnesium threonate is generally regarded as the best one for sleep, but magnesium glycinate or magnesium citrate also have value depending on what you're trying to achieve. Magnesium glycinate is good for general use. Magnesium citrate is a little bit better for digestion and trying to cure any constipation that you may have. And briefly on our environment, I mentioned this slightly when we talked about travel, and that is controlling the temperature of your room. Somewhere around 65 to 70 degrees is really ideal. That being said, you don't want too heavy of a blanket because then you're just defeating the purpose of keeping a cold room. So a lighter blanket in that colder environment can help keep your body temperature low and allow your body to go through the full sleep cycles. And it needs to be completely dark. Like I had mentioned, I just sleep with a sleep mask. It's a lot easier to control. I can carry it around with me everywhere if I'm sleeping at different places, and I just know exactly what I'm expecting each and every time. If you're not comfortable sleeping with a sleep mask, try and black out your rooms or tape over any small LED lights. Those little lights do have an impact even if you cannot see them. Some background sound has been really beneficial for me, and a lot of people report better quality sleep with that sleep sound, as it just adds a layer of protection against these more abnormal sounds that can happen in old homes or just in our environment around us. So what are the big rocks when it comes to sleep optimization? It's going to have consistent sleep times, a good light-dark cycle, waking up with light, going to bed in the dark, controlling the temperature of the room, having a very dark room environment, not eating too close to bedtime, not consuming caffeine too late in the day. But when it comes to implementing all of these, we don't want to start and focus on putting all of them on our plate at once. We want to take small, slow, measured approach to start to implement these. Start with one thing, maybe consistent wake times. Focus on that for 2 weeks, being consistent at waking up at the exact same time every single day. After that, maybe you add in controlling the temperature in your room and being consistent with that. Focus on these small things and build up to being consistent and having a sleep schedule that works for you no matter where you are. No matter who you are or what age you are, sleep is our most powerful performance booster. It's going to help you lift more weight, look better in the mirror, and just feel better day to day. The sleep challenges you deal with are not inevitable. You have the opportunity to improve upon them and to build a better sleep schedule that works for you and your travel and your life. If this video helps you understand your sleep and give you some tips and tricks on how to get better quality sleep, please like this video and leave a comment with which one you're focusing on first. And if you want more science-based content on performing better, living longer, and being a healthier version of yourself, please hit the subscribe button as it helps us out and we'll know to make more videos for you.